Looks like the reports have resurfaced about this Mike Conley issue or Mike Conley trade. And according to reports, the Clippers could be receiving a declining player in Mike Conley. He's averaging 13 points, about 5 assists. Me personally, that's pretty much, about what he needs to give a team now. I mean, I don't know if that's declining for him specifically. I personally didn't think this would resurface. I thought it was pretty much a done deal, if you ask me, in regards to Mike Conley. I think Mike Conley is a good, solid point guard. I think he would be a good point guard for what the Clippers need if they were able to acquire him. In earlier video, you heard me speak about Malcolm Brogdon. I think Malcolm Brogdon would be a little bit better of a fit, but really it's not too much difference between the two. If you ask me, I personally think that Malcolm Brogdon would be who I go with, but we hear Mike Conley's name resurfacing, so there has to be some interest there. I mean, Mike does have a lot more maybe playoff experience, or maybe, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's about give or take tied somewhere in there. But I would say Mike Conley has a little bit more playoff experience than Malcolm Brogdon. I will give him that because he played with the Grizzlies, before with Zebo and them back in the day, and Marc Gasol and Tony Allen. He's been in some rough battles. He's played, at a pretty decent level. He's made an all-star game before, so I got to give him that as well. And like I said, just his overall experience, he does have more experience than Malcolm Brogdon, I think. But at the same time, I still feel like Malcolm Brogdon would fit a little bit better just because he's a little bit younger. And I think, what they can get out of him will be more than what the Clippers can get out of Mike Conley. Mike Conley, you're only going to get about 14 points, maybe 5 assists. And don't get me wrong, the Clippers can definitely use that. They don't really need a point guard to go out there and score, 25 points a game. They don't really need that. They just need somebody with minimal efforts on the offensive end in regards to score when needed, but we don't need you to be a big-time scorer. We got Kawhi and PG for that. We got Reggie Jackson, which he could put up big numbers as well at any point in time. I mean, that's what he is, Reggie Hot Sauce Jackson. I mean, he got the flashy moves, but he also can put that ball in the basket too. So, plus we got other scorers as well. Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann coming off the bench, even all the way down to the bottom, to the bench, basically, with Amir Coffey, players like that, Hardenstein, we got some players. So, don't really need to worry about offense there. So really, if they were going to look into Mike Conley, I don't know, like I said, if you would really call him a declining player. I mean, the last several years, he's been effective, for the Utah Jazz. I mean, for what they needed, out of him. So, I mean, that's all he would really have to give the Clippers is just a good, 20 to 24 minutes of gameplay, or maybe a little bit more than that, and put up his 10 to 12 points, maybe get about 5-6 assists a game. He still can do that. So I mean, I guess you could say he's declined from where he used to be. I guess back in the day with the Memphis Grizzlies, he might have scored a few more points per game, but he was never really a high-end point guard like that anyway. He was always the old school traditional type point guard that'll help you play the game the right way, pass first, score second type point guard. He's not going to give you like 30 points a game or anything like that. That's never really been his forte. He's had breakout moments or breakout games where he scored some big points, when needed. But really, like I said, that's all the Clippers need, a point guard to score when needed. It's not like they need somebody to go out there and put up a lot of points because, as I said, they got enough offense, and really their defense is really good too. So, and Mike Conley's still a little bit scrappy on defense, and I'm not, knocking the fact that, he can't score or anything like that. But I personally still would go with Malcolm Brogdon just because Malcolm Brogdon can score 19, 20 points a game easily on average. And that tells me one thing, if need be, where they need him to pick up the load in the scoring, he's able to do that with no problem because he's already used to doing it now as we speak. But there is some interest in Mike Conley as well. There's definitely interest because his name has resurfaced several times, reading reports and everything in the sites for, the Clippers looking into a point guard. So his name has resurfaced several times. Malcolm Brogdon just came up. Or should I say his was out there about a year ago, I believe, before the season started, but his name is resurfaced as well. So I will say there's interest for both of those type players. So everybody knows you definitely use a point guard. It's been notified. I mean, they tried it with Rondo, it didn't work. So, I mean, they just kind of went away from it for a second because they felt like there was no other options out there that would fit. But either one of these two, honestly, probably would fit, for the Clippers. So I hope they, take the opportunity and don't let it pass them by, because like I said, those waning moments of a game where you have to, calm the offense down and get everybody going, get their energy back going, get some high quality shots. That's what the point guard is there for. And that's what the Clippers really need. And like I said, the Clippers can win a championship the way they are. It's just going to be a little bit harder if they take this approach. It'll be almost like I said, the year before when they were down 0-2 in every series against Dallas, Utah, and even the Phoenix Suns. They had to climb an uphill battle just to win, just to find a way to come out and win. Ultimately, they didn't come out and win against the Phoenix Suns, but still, you don't want to be in that hole like that. So if you have more, balance on your offense like that, and not having Reggie play a point guard position that he's pretty decent at and he's played before, but it's really not his natural position. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you want to get that right piece in there that can make your life a lot easier. And Ty Lue can definitely relate to a point guard, because that's exactly what he was when he played for the Lakers a long time ago and the Wizards. He was a point guard. So he understands that role the best more than any other position. So getting a certified point guard in there, whether old school, new school mentality, doesn't matter. Getting a certified point guard in there is going to better your life and better your chances of winning and making your life a lot easier in the down the stretch of games with 2 or 3 minutes left, 4 or 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and your other team went on like a 6-8-0 run, and now the game is tied or you're down a couple points, and you need that point guard to anchor the offense to get high quality shots. That's what it comes down to, and that's really the weakest area I've seen from the Clippers the last few years. Now, like I said, their defense is so good, they can make up for a lot of things. And when Kawhi and PG is there, they make up for a lot of those little intangible issues that they have. But having that certification right there in that point guard role can definitely better their chances and make their life a whole lot easier going through the season, trying to win these games when they come down to the last few minutes, rather than trying to just go isolation one-on-one all the time. And really, a lot of time that puts wear and tear on the players. And a lot of times, like I said, sometimes you don't get a high quality shot when you're just going one-on-one isolation. You need more ball movement. Ball movement is exercised a lot more when you have the right point guard in your system. Precisely the reason why the Warriors are a good team, because they play with much ball movement, and the point guard, well, Stephen Curry and or Draymond Green gets everybody in the right spot when they need to calm the offense down and get high quality shots. And a lot of time, high quality shots doesn't have to result in a 3-pointer. It could be a layup going to the basket or something like that, or maybe even somebody getting to the basket, drawing the foul, icing the game with a couple free throws. See, these are the things, the intangible things that a lot of people don't look at, that you have to understand about basketball and situational basketball. And this is what the Clippers need to fulfill. So either way, I'm not really hurting if they go with either pick between Mike Conley and Malcolm Brogdon, but I definitely think a choice needs to be made, and this summer they need to definitely attack that. So going into the next season, they'll be fully balanced and then also be fully healthy, and then we'll see what all the naysayers are saying about the Clippers if they're fully healthy with a certified point guard to anchor their offense while they're contending for a championship in the process. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section, as always. And hey, Khaliis out.